Well, good day to you all. Welcome to a new week. It is a week off this week, so I would officially like to start by thanking all of my new followers that have joined the channel recently. Coming out of the stage door and meeting you at each venue has been awesome, and having conversations with you, budding actors that are coming through. I know you're really enjoying seeing all the stuff that's backstage and the process of what it is to be not only an actor or an actress, but an actor on the road and living this tour life, because you get in there and it really does take 9 months to do a 9-month tour. So having you guys along the way with me keeps my mind fresh. So I just want to give a big thanks to all of you for that. But like I say, it's a week off, so there's no show this week, but time to get in balance. Obviously, I've got to go and play pool with my good friend George Book. And of course, wouldn't be a week off without a gig with old Matty Lynch. It wouldn't be one of my videos without a little bit of history. So my partner and I decided to go to Greenwich to the National Maritime Museum and check out the pirate exhibition that they've got going on there, because I have a vested interest in all things piratical, being related to Sir Francis Drake, who was Elizabeth I's prized pirate. He did a lot of bad things too, so on behalf of the bloodline I do apologise. This is a specific exhibition that shows a little bit more into pirate life and what it is to be a pirate in the old days and today. There's similarities, but there's also a big difference that in the olden days, to be a pirate, yes, you could get press ganged. Yes, your life expectancy was probably about 2 years. But if you were a slave that had managed to escape, you would be a free man on a pirate ship. If you didn't want to live the life that the Navy told you what to do and doing things for king and country, then you could become a pirate and still have life at sea where your skills lay, and possibly make more money along the way. It's also where democracy was properly, I know you've got Greece and everything, but on sea, like, you think it would just be cutthroat and killing everyone. But pieces of 8, you get the coins, the doubloons, they would chop them into segments, into 8 pieces, and share them out on a tier system with the captain, the crew, first mate, and all of that would all get different amounts. But it was done as a democracy. There was votes. Punishment was harsh. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, with the old cat and nine tails, because you've got the saying, not enough room to swing a cat. Well, that is a cat of 9 tails. And downstairs in the hold, where most of the judicial elements were conducted on board a ship, the actual punishment couldn't be meted out because you couldn't swing the cat in the small room that was granted there. So they'd go up on deck, and that is where the person would get whipped. And of course, the person doing the whipping would either do it strongly or do it weakly. And if you were their friend and they could be in the position that you're in the future, if you did it a little bit softer, caused a little less damage, then you'd hope that the person would do that for you. So you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I think because I did so much research into a character that I played when I was in the Caribbean on a job that I cannot talk about, but this is how he looked. Pretty dark character. I got into seeing what it was like, went to the actual places where the pirates were operating, and yeah, it really does have this deep vibe. But these are on the big wooden ships. Pirates today of that film with Tom Hanks, it's a different kind of thing. I met a guy called Piotrek, a Colombian chap, who was in the Galapagos Islands, got stranded, got picked up by a load of fellas on a boat that turned out to be modern day pirates. They put him on the boat and then they said, right, wait there, we're just going to go off and do some pirating. And they got all the, I've seen the videos of this, they've got the dogs all lined up on a chain ready to go onto their tender to go and attack, and loads of automatic rifles. It's slightly different than having a cutlass and a peg leg, isn't it? But it was interesting to see that when they came back from pirating, they then went ashore, played a basketball game and drank loads of beer. The locals let them win the basketball game because they're pirates. And Piotrek was with them this whole way. And then they put him back on the boat. They give him a load of provisions and then drop him off where he was stranded. So he was with them for 2 days. They went pirating, played a game of basketball, drank a load of beer, and then put him back on the island, but with water and food. So, yeah, not all bad. I don't know. This is an interesting way of life. But if you've got nothing and you need something and you've got a family to feed, what would you do? Also at the exhibition, they have a little section about Nelson, Lord Horatio Nelson. The chap, if you ever go to Trafalgar Square, which is metres away from the centre of London, you can see the Nelson's column. And he's up there with his one arm and his eye patch, looking down towards Whitehall. He lost his life at the Battle of Trafalgar. You can go to the Cuttiss Ark. We didn't do that in Greenwich, but you can go to the Cuttiss Ark.
The last and proudest of the famous tea clippers, the Cuttiss Ark, prepared this week to leave her mooring. Cuttiss Ark was given a send-off by the cadets of HMS Worcester, her parent ship for the past 13 years.
You can go underneath it, and they've worked it all out, but you can visit the spot where he actually died. But in the museum, in the National Maritime Museum, they have his stockings, his trousers, and the coat that he was wearing in his uniform. The stockings are still covered in blood. On the trousers, you can see where they've cut away to get at the wound. And on the jacket, you can see the shot that hit him in the shoulder and went through and lodged itself into his spine. He was then carried down. You can see depictions of this at the base of Nelson's column, but here's the actual imagine the actual uniform he was wearing the day he died. But you imagine being at sea in a battle like that, with the cannons going off and the smoke and the noise and the explosion of wood splinters coming at you, people jumping aboard ship with cutlasses and guns. These are the things that stopped us being invaded. These are the things that made England what it is. These are the things that I'm seeing the remnants of in every city that I'm going to, and it's what inspires me so beautifully about what I'm doing here. Also, we have May Day, so I went down to Hastings, which is obviously where I grew up, or spent the majority of my time growing up. That's where I finished school, went to college. And every year we'd have what's called May Day, or Jack in the Green, which is a pagan festival to bring in the summer. And Hastings is a very musical town, so all of your musical friends will be out. Everyone's dressed in green. You've got maypole dancing, you've got Morris dancers, which for my American audience is a very, very English tradition to have these Morris dancers with the sticks, or the singing, or the handkerchiefs. And yeah, everyone just goes about the town, has a good time. There's gigs galore. You end up all chatting and feeling good. Sometimes it's rainy. This year it wasn't. It was beautiful. Bit windy every now and again, but it didn't stop the fun. And I think more importantly, it is a tradition that my friend Harrison and I do together. Now, Harrison, you've met, and I'll let him explain.
Hello! You saw me naked in a bath, and then you saw my name above the handprint that he wrote, although he didn't point it out.
And the Jimmy tour.
And the this What Kills tour on that as well.
Yeah.
Hello, viewers.
And Harrison has been with me since the start. I came back from India, where I was touring Macbeth, and I had managed to play my first live gig in Goa. Met a load of great musicians and stuff, but I suddenly realised this could be something I could do. I get back to Hastings and I've got my guitar, and I go and play a gig, and the guitar started messing up. It was all broken from the travel, and this chap walks into the building, goes to the end of my guitar, twiddles something, tightens something, hits it, walks off. It works. Me and Harrison have been friends ever since, and we have toured all over the place together. We have gigged hour after hour after hour, and they say if you're on the road for 30 years, 20 of that is going to be waiting to go on stage, and you might as well wait with somebody you like. Well, that's this guy. And a bass player, well, in a band, they should be the cornerstone, the people holding down what it is that you're doing when you want to lift off and fly with your ego, or sing a mellifluous note, or play a mean solo. That bass player is sitting underneath, holding you foundationally. That is Harrison to me, in life and in music.
I can hear some bass coming in. Who can hear some bass?
I just wanted to sort of give him a salute, because he's an absolute chap that has been there through thick and thin with me over the years, on all the tours, through the hardships. And so currently it is May Day down here in Hastings, and every year it's a tradition. Harrison and I go up to the hill and look out over the over 180 degree view, which I'll show you just in a moment. Every year we try and find a way to get to the top.
Yes.
And this is the sort of smoothest slope, isn't it?
The easiest route.
Easiest
First
route.
one's the easiest, and then we'll get progressively more difficult from there.
Yeah. The stairs. The stairs. The aroma of urine and lack of movement have changed our direction. But I just wanted to introduce this chap. But that now brings us to the present moment, where I am walking around Tooting Common, where I live. We will be going to Wimbledon Theatre next week, which is an interesting one, because it's the first time we're not going to a city, it's a borough. So I will come up with ways to entertain you as best I can for the week of Wimbledon. I just want to say also that if you are enjoying these videos and you do manage to come and see the show, come round to the stage door, and if you mention the YouTube videos, I'll give you a little shout out on the next week's vlog. Thought that might inspire some engagement, and let's see how that goes. For now, I'll just say peace out, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in Wimbly Bimbly Dom.